For more than 2 centuries, Greece has been locked in a bitter battle with the British Museum in London to return some of the world's most beautiful artifacts. Well, now in the past few weeks, there appears to have been some movement, perhaps, towards a deal.
When there is a will, there is a way, and this will happen.
So that's Greece's prime minister talking about the Elgin marbles, or the Parthenon marbles, carved off the walls of the Parthenon in the early 1800s by the British Lord Elgin. Since the day they were taken, their fate has been argued over. The British say they obtained them legally and then were willed them by Lord Elgin and held in trust for the world. The Greeks say these are looted treasures that are part of their country's heritage and they want them back. So why are they in the news again? Well, joining us this morning is the Director of Museum Studies Program at the University of Toronto, Kara Krumpovich. Welcome to your morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Anne-Marie.
All right, let's go back to the beginning. We'll look at hundreds of years of this debate. Why do the British still have these, and why won't they give them back?
Well, there's a few reasons they've given. One is that they can better take care of them. The other is that they belong to humanity. And then they also claim that if they gave these back, it would set a dangerous precedent.
And what would that precedent be?
They're afraid that it would empty the British Museum. Now, nobody has ever backed up a truck and emptied a museum in a repatriation instance. So most of these arguments fall flat.
But there is an argument to be made about the fact that they market the museum sometimes using things like these, and that is a loss of profit.
Sure, but you know, we shouldn't talk about repatriation as loss. That's a really dangerous slope to go down. And why shouldn't Greece see some of that benefit?
Earlier this month, the British Museum confirmed they were in talks with Greece, possibly to return the sculptures, but those talks have fallen through. What happened?
As I understand it, the British Museum is moving towards a long-term loan, which is something they've done in the past, and indeed the Umista Cultural Centre in British Columbia has a long-term loan rather than a repatriation from the British Museum. But Greece does not want a long-term loan because that would recognize the British Museum's ownership. So they are not looking to do that.
What are some of the challenges standing in the way, then, of these marbles being repatriated?
The British Museum is standing behind the British Museum Act, which they say prevents them legally from repatriating. Again, you know, this also doesn't really hold up. Britain changed laws so that they could repatriate ancestral remains. And also we know in our countries that when laws don't meet our values, we change them.
When it comes to whether or not these marbles should be returned, which side do you lean on?
I'd be thrilled if they go back. People would see them in context. They'd be reunited with the Acropolis, with the Parthenon. And I'm not afraid of change. And, you know, these objects moved originally, and they can move again.
One of the first things I asked you was if this trend continues and everybody wants their things back from when we were, in colonization and in empire days, would the museum be empty? Would there be anything left for people to see?
There's at least 8 million things in the British Museum. It would not be empty. And again, a truck has never backed up. And in Canada, you know, we have leaders of repatriation, the Kwakwaka'wakw First Nation, the Haida Repatriation Committee. They've shaped repatriation globally, and museums have not been emptied.
All right, great to have you here, Kara. Fascinating conversation.
Thanks for having me.
We will continue to follow it. As you said, you've been teaching this for years.
Yep, and it'll keep going.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.